Yes, guys, welcome back to SFeatleyTV, and we're here for another car launch. It's McLaren's turn to launch, well, their version of the F1 2022 car, where it's going to be a livery launch, a pretend launch, a car launch, or just any sort of launch. But there you go. No, but we'll wait and see what they come up with. I've got Connor, my fellow McLaren fan, well, say fellow McLaren fan, I'm a Mercedes fan because he's borrowing my engine. So yeah, there you go. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing good. I'm excited for this. I'm excited for this car launch. I think it's going to be really exciting to see what exactly the McLaren guys have done. I'm so badly hoping that we're not stupid and this is just a livery launch. I really, really want this to be an actual full car launch. I like what Williams has done with their teaser because they've had them look at like a miniature version of the car, and both drivers were like, "Oh, this is very different." And so I'm hoping that it's the same way with us, because if Williams actually has a very different car, it makes me very excited, because if they're doing that, then hopefully it means that McLaren will be doing something along the same lines, because it's another Mercedes engine team. If Williams has gone very different with how they're with the Mercedes engine, I'm hoping it's the same way.
So they've designed something that's a little bit different. So it was funny. Someone did a livery mock-up of the FW44 of the 1996. Funny that.
I'd love to just see the Gulf color. Like, get rid of the orange and blue. Just bring Gulf the entire year. I would be fine.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Run the Monaco livery. The livery that we ran in Monaco, literally just run that all year.
Yeah. Run that the whole year.
I would never complain. I would literally always. I would say that we have the best car on the grid if we run that livery every single day.
Yeah, I'd like to. Miniature. Where's the miniature size? Where did I find that? I was trying to find out where they Let me try and see. Racing on Twitter. Car wheels. Have they done anything? When was that? Oh no, was that 6th of Jan? Jesus.
It's going to be interesting, though. I think this will be a very good car. I think because of who we have in charge, not only at the CEO position, I think it's awesome when you have a CEO as just into the sport and as loving as someone like Zach Brown. Having him be, he gets confused with being the head of McLaren as like the actual like race director, because he's so absolutely involved, and I think that can only spell good things for a team. And not only do we have him, who I love him, I think it's awesome that we have him being that involved, but we also have, I think, one of the best technical directors, one of the best directors around, and one of the best top 10 directors of all time.
Hello. Lance, from the look of it, I've just brought a picture up of Lance Stroll in the actual in their actual AMR22.
Oh yeah, they've been running it around. There's a couple videos of them running it around.
Obviously, they can only put on full wets because it's not a test session.
So yeah, they were going around Silverstone earlier.
Yeah, they were going around. Wow, Jesus, that's what
it's a good. The one thing that I did get a lot of comments that I saw on online is
that's my favorite.
That nose is super high.
Yeah, that's what I noticed. That
it's got a really, really high nose, and that's what kind of has piqued a lot of people's interest. I think it's smart, because
if you remember back in 2010 to 2013, remember Red Bull's nose? It used to be literally like this high,
so high off the ground.
Used to be like on the floor, and then you remember like 2012, they had to bring the noses down because
they had like a little piece that literally was like from the nose down, so that it the wing all the way down.
I'm surprised they're getting away with that a little bit. I'm wondering if the FIA might take a look at that. I don't know.
Maybe we know how Aston Martin slash
they can't copy the pink Mercedes this time. You can't call them the pink Mercedes this time. Right? You can't.
But we know how
Right?
they are with cheating and flaunting around the rules. I mean, and we've seen how Mercedes gets around the
Mate,
rules
and
with their
your
backline.
best friend Atna Safna is not there either. So there you go.
Oh my gosh! When I heard he was fired, I was shocked.
Mate, I was expecting you to come on here like pop out the champagne.
I had a drink. I definitely had a drink. I understood why a lot of people were sad to see him leave and upset that he left because I will admit, he was a good. He was good.
It's one of those. It's like
He was good at his job, but so happy to see him gone.
Mate, the day Christian Horner leaves is the day I'm having a party.
Just have an absolute palooza on stream, just popping champagne.
Have you seen that extra audio that they've been going on about?
I've heard about that. That's interesting.
You didn't see it. I just heard that from Time.
Oh, I've seen it.
I've seen it since December.
No, I've seen it before. I'm surprised it's just really coming to the scene now because I remember someone
that's
commenting.
Been on the inside story on F1 TV.
Yeah, someone commented on it that was like a journalist, and they're like, "Why is everybody acting like this is some new big deal? This has been around for months now, and why are we just now talking about it?"
No, do you know why? It's because what happened was, like in the inside story, they usually put it on the YouTube channel all the time.
Yeah,
that's the only inside story they have done. They've not put on the F1, not put on YouTube.
And I can understand
why.
I can understand why they've done it because they probably don't want to get. I would say get in trouble. Possibly, I don't know. There might be backlash from someone in. It could be backlash from Red Bull.
Because it makes it very clear. I feel he's been swayed. I literally feel. I'm sorry if, as much as people try and you know me, I don't like blaming Reds. I don't like blaming.
Yeah, no, I get where you're coming from, and I can understand.
I feel now
it's
been fixed.
The thing is, though, is I feel like it could also be said that it was fixed. I think Massey is just a very cowardly man because you have to remember when Toto was calling for no safety car and saying that they shouldn't be allowed to pass, there was no safety car for a bit and they weren't allowed to pass for a while. So I think it's not that it was fixed because Massey listened to Toto just as much. I think it's just purely that he's a giant pansy. And when faced with pressure, he bends over and spreads his cheeks and says, "I'll do whatever." So I don't think it's really fixed in the terms that Red Bull, it was fixed for Red Bull. I think Massey's just a puny little man.
Karun, I don't know if you want to. Last time I saw Lando in an orange McLaren, he put it in the freaking gravel in the Silverstone. Right, and he told Anthony Herbert to get a shovel. Just saying.
Yeah. I really hope. See, and the thing for me is, I will agree with. So, have you heard the rumors? There's rumors going around that this is Ricciardo's last year.
No, really.
There's been some in the sport.
No.
There's been some rumors that unless he's challenging for that World Drivers' Championship, he's going to be looking to bow out of the sport.
I don't think so.
He looks just extremely uninterested. Doesn't really look like he's absolutely loving driving anymore. I think that also kind of contributed to why he didn't do so well at the beginning of the year. I don't think he was super happy, especially with the fact that it was built for Norris.
Yeah, Rely says, hope does well this year. We all know he can do it. Fresh start in the year. See if he can match Norris's pace in 2022. We'll just wait and see. I'd be gobsmacked if he did that. To be honest, I will be shocked.
For me, I would be sad because I love Daniel Ricciardo. I think he's an absolute gem, and he's a personality, the type of personality we need in this sport from at least one of our drivers. It's the same thing with Kimi. You need those kind of, type of personalities that aren't like just the exact same from every single person.
Who gonna finish in F1, guys?
It's rumored that possibly Ricciardo may be doing his last year in F1.
Maybe.
I would see. For me, I already know who I'd have replace him if he does step away.
Who?
Go get Pierre Gasly.
That's a good point.
Pierre Gasly, I think he deserves to finally get out of that Red Bull thing. He's never going to go back into Red Bull. Red Bull's never going to call back.
No, Red Bull's never going to go back in there.
It's just because he's got nowhere else to go. You look at Alpine, and they have Ocon. They're not going to get rid of Ocon, and they're not going to get rid of Fernando unless he leaves, because Fernando was phenomenal for them in that Alpine. You look at Aston Martin. Unless Vettel retires, he's got no space because, you know, you're not going to get rid of your son and Lance Stroll, so he's not going to leave. And then Ferrari, Leclerc's never going anywhere. And I don't see Carlos. And if Carlos Sainz leaves, it's because Mick Schumacher is going to be coming up and joining, like we've heard Bonato say time and time again.
Yeah.
So the only
Carlos Sainz is there covering the gap.
Yeah, so the only reasonable way that he could go is to McLaren. If he wants to step up in the world. If he wants to step back down, he can go to Williams, or he can go to, I don't think he'll go to Haas. He can go to Williams, or he can go to Alfa Romeo. Well, but if he wants to step up, his only option is McLaren.
They're just doing their intro now. And look at they're bringing up their paint. Make it look like, oh yeah, that was Hungary.
But no, so I think if you look at it, Norris and Gasly would be a very good combination.
Do you know what I love is they're using them. That's that crash in Spa. Brilliant. I love how they're using the Indy 500 win as like their success.
Well, that was a huge thing for that. That's a huge. I think it's because with McLaren, it's like with Mercedes and Formula. It's either Formula W or
that was
Formula
nice getting pole, but fucking it up in the race. And then Danny Rick and Monza. Thanks.
I think
Verstappen decided I'm not going to give in.
Did you see who's on reserve right now? One of the reserve drivers who I think deserves a spot. I saw Nico Hulkenberg's back as a reserve driver again this year.
Yeah, he's reserve driver for Aston Martin, isn't he?
I love it because I'm a big fan.
He was always there. He was always. I think he was always.
Has he always been there?
He's always been there. He was there in 2020, wasn't he?
I love Hulkenberg.
When Perez got COVID for 2 weeks.
I thought Hulkenberg was who filled in for Hamilton when he got COVID.
No. He was for 2 races. He was flying in for Perez because of COVID.
That's right.
Lance Stroll had didn't feel well, so he had
so he was No, but I think for me, if I'm looking at it, you just look at Gasly and Norris together, and you see it. I think that's a very good pairing. Because you got 2 young drivers, both trying to really make their mark, both in cars that shouldn't be putting cars where they're not supposed to be going.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You look at Norris and McLaren, and he's holding off and challenging Hamilton.
I don't think there's so much pressure at McLaren than there is at Red Bull as well.
No, because when you're at AlphaTauri, there's that pressure of you trying to perform so that you can get up to Red Bull.
Yeah.
McLaren, you're at McLaren. You're not. There's nowhere up or down. You're at McLaren or you're not. And it's a car that I think even we had Brown. Brown said we're not going to challenge for another couple of years for a title. So
I also think with McLaren is that this car, and I've said like this car, what they need to be doing. This car, what it needs to be doing is just start now challenging for wins and podiums.
Goal for me is I think we need to get 3. We need to get 2 or 3 wins, and at least 6 or 7 podiums.
Yeah, that's the.
If we can get that, that's a good year. That's a good year. If we can get wins and we can get podiums consistently, it's a good year. And if we're not on podium, we better be 4th, 5th, or 6th. I don't want to see us back in the bottom of the top 10 again at the end of races, unless it's maybe 1 or 2. I want us to see us. If we're going to consistently say that we're progressing and we're going to be above Ferrari, you have to be finishing right off the podium or on the podium.
To be honest, I was expecting a lot more than that. Because you've got Ferrari as strong competition. You're probably taking a gamble on their engine.
Yeah.
You're going to need to be kind of challenging towards the top spot.
The only reason we were 4th last year is because Ricciardo had such a bad first half and Lando had such a bad second half. If they both had a good year the whole way through, we would have coasted to 3rd.
Give it test drive of 2020. I'm not sure if he's still there. I'll go check.
I don't know if the torpedo's there.
Don't. Let me see if he's there. Drivers.
He's working with Alpine.
No, to be decided. To be decided. So they haven't,
To be decided. Okay, so
decided
he's
yet.
still not. He's still not decided. Okay. He said he's open.
Yeah.
He wants to come back.
I'm
He
sure
says
he does.
he said last year he deserves another chance, and I think he honestly does.
Mm.
I
Very
think
rarely do they get back into another seat, though.
I don't think he'll
Rarely.
get back into Towery though, but I think he may go the route that we see now with the guy who had a
Mate,
big
I know
fall
you
from
want
the
to get
race.
rid of Sonoda, but come on.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that Kvyat may take the Albon route and just dip out of the system completely and go down to Williams or Haas. If there's a spot open at Romeo or Haas or Williams, I think you have to take it. If you're Kvyat and you want back in, I get the dream of getting back in the tower and going back up to Red Bull. But we've seen with Gasly how that works. We've seen with Albon now having to go to Williams just to get a spot. That's how Kvyat's going to have to do it if he wants to get back into Formula One. I do love, though, this is not Formula One, but IndyCar. It's being touted right now that the favorite to win this year is Romain Grosjean. He's actually the favorite this year to win IndyCar.
There you go.
Which I'm happy for him. I love him. I don't think he deserved to lose his seat in Formula One. I think it should have been him and Grosjean. I feel like him and Schumacher would have been a great pairing.
Yeah, to be honest, but
because you have a guy in Grosjean who's been in Haas.
But the problem is the problem is the like Haas needing the money, and they need the money for this year, didn't they?
Yeah,
so
they asked for it. It's weird though because they only said that because if you remember on the Drive to Survive, it was only that they needed a German driver.
Yeah, that's why I was like, okay, where did the fucking Russian come from then?
Yeah, like if they needed a German driver for that sponsorship, they had that in Mick. They could have kept Grosjean because Grosjean not only performed, but he had good sponsors.
Yeah, but I also think when the option offer was there to him, they thought more money for the 2022 car. That's perfect.
It better be good. If it's not a good car this year, then it's a mistake that they even let Grosjean go.
I've already said if they do not produce a good car this year, within 2 years, Haas will be gone.
I think Gene's going to pull the plug this year if they don't perform. Because Gene's already, if you've seen on Drive to Survive,
I may not say it this year, but probably next year, unless it's an absolute catastrophe.
You've seen Gene Haas though on Drive to Survive. He's tired of this shit. He barely pays any attention to this team anymore.
Mate, I've already seen it. But what I will say is that unless it's a catastrophe for me, because it's new rules, I think he'll probably make extra allowances. So he'll probably give an extra season, unless it's an absolute catastrophe. If it's a catastrophe, then he's gone. He's gone.
Oh yeah, if they finish dead last again, and there's not a point to be shared between the two, I think he'll pull the plug.
But if they're
means like, Nick has to save this team. Nick has to save this team and probably be the one to get the point because it's not going to be Mazepin.
Yeah.
And I will agree with this comment. I think Grosjean was massively better than Magnussen. I think Magnussen's a decent driver, but Grosjean, I think Grosjean's so underrated. Grosjean's so underrated.
I think they will quit in 2023. Yeah, if they do, or for wait and see.
I mean, do you remember Grosjean at Lotus?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, he was fantastic.
Well, apart from 2012.
But if you look at him, honestly, I think his career is ruined by the fact that he went to Haas because of the fact that he ended up going to a team where he did very well with them. You remember the races in 2016, 2017. He's finishing near the top 10, inside the top 10. But then you have the unfortunateness where he then just ended up being a bad car. Hold up, I got a call.
Yeah, what happened was towards 2018, they qualified well, but didn't perform well in the races, and they started to drop off. And you also think that part of it is also down to the fact that Gene has started cutting some of the funding. It's all about funding. The more funding you give to a team in Formula One, the more chance they have of succeeding. Anyway, we're coming near to the car launch itself. Right, we're coming near to the car launch itself, so it can't be too far along. I'm gonna stick my freaking headphones in this thing, so I can listen to the damn thing.
Yeah, I might switch my headphones from my computer to my phone now.
Yeah.
excited though.
Hang on a
This
minute.
is going to be.
I'm glad they're worried about like. I'm glad they're worried about like the IndyCar, but I'm not really fucked. Just reveal the car, man.
It's funny because a lot of people are calling for if Ricciardo leaves, a lot of people are calling for Pat O'Ward to come in, and I honestly don't think it's a good idea. He literally just drove it for the first time during winter testing when we did the end of the season testing. That was his first time driving it ever. That was his first time driving an F1 car. You can't just throw him in.
Yeah. By the way, guys, I have no clue what freaking IndyCar is, so don't worry about it. Schumacher a lot better than Mazepin. Well, of course he is.
You know my feelings. You know my feelings on a couple of these
Mazepin
drivers.
should not be here. He should not be there. He's that guy in the corner, and no one wants them to be there.
Well, I honestly think Zhou deserves to be here even less.
I won't go that far.
I think Zhou, even if it's not as much, I think he doesn't deserve it nearly at all to be. He doesn't deserve to be anywhere near Formula One.
Yeah, but at least with Mazepin, unlike Mazepin, I'm willing to give him a chance.
Yeah.
The thing is that
I think
at least it did like give him a go. You never know him. Like, don't forget, and I'm not comparing him to Max Verstappen, by the way.
Yeah.
Like,
you can't look me in the face unless you're a Zhou fan and tell me that Piastri shouldn't be the one with the seat right now.
Don't forget, Alguersuari was 16, 17 years old when he went into an F1 car.
Yeah, but my problem with Zhou is that he spent how many years? Like 2 or 3 years in Formula 2. Got beat out by a rookie. Got beat out by a rookie. Got beat out by a rookie. Why does that mean that he now deserves to go to Formula 1 over someone like Oscar Piastri?
I hear that absolutely, but I hear that definitely. So that's why I'm just waiting to see. That's why I'm just waiting to see what he can do. You never know. He might find his feet.
And I think what's even worse is there's not even going to be a Chinese Grand Prix this year. That's the whole reason he was brought in.
There's no Chinese Grand Prix, is there?
So that you know that he's going to have to stay for 2023 because that's when they're finally having a Chinese Grand Prix, and that's the whole entire reason he was brought in is because of the fact that there's a Chinese Grand Prix and he's Chinese.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm
not trying to be controversial. I'm not being racist, but the only reason he's there is because he's Chinese and brings all the Chinese sponsorships. It's the same way with Mazepin.
Yeah, that's the thing because, there's no Grand Prix.
I honestly think it's also a very big reason why Yuki's in Formula One. I don't really think Yuki deserved his spot. I don't think he showed any promise, especially for the first 3 quarters of the season, that showed that he deserved to be here still.
It's money sponsors, isn't it?
It's a cash game now, and it's awful because it's ruining F1.
Yeah, it's not so much. Yeah, it's not so much that. It's just. It's the problem is it's that's the cost it is to keep teams going in F1, and F1's become so much more expensive than.
That's the problem is you're making it so expensive.
The inflation since the Tybert era started has been huge.
Yeah, no, the amount that you have to spend now for cars is ridiculous, and I bet you wouldn't see paid drivers if it was like it was back in 2010.
That's why you now have only 3 power units per year. And two of those components, don't forget a power unit with 6 components. 2 of those components you can only use twice a year. 2 of them a year.
Yeah.
Lovely.
I love hearing about.
And you got to use it for 23 races. So one part of those, I've got to last at least 12 races.
I have to agree with this. As much as I like Latifi, I'm a big fan of Latifi, and I feel so bad that I'm hoping he finally gets a Canadian Grand Prix this year. I'm hoping he finally gets a home Grand Prix.
Yeah, I'm hoping so. But
I think he'll get outperformed by Albon because I think Albon's a very good driver, and this may be Latifi's last year in the sport. You know what I would call right now? Calling it right now. Latifi gets let go at the end of the year, and we do see Kvyat join up, and we see 2 ex Red Bulls sitting in Williams in 2023.
That'll be interesting, wouldn't it?
Two ex Red Bulls and a
Bulls
Mercedes and a
with
Mercedes
a
power
Mercedes
engine.
engine.
And Karen Horner getting pissed off when they take out Verstappen or something like that because they're in a Williams.
Yeah. Like the Mercedes powered, so of course it's a conspiracy. Yet the Red Bull drivers, mate.
It's interesting that it's very interesting because I think it took them a while to finally come to an agreement on letting him even come over. And I'm like, if you're fighting that hard to not let Albon join Williams, why aren't you having him in AlphaTauri or something?
Yeah, that's the thing. Why have you got?
If you have that much belief,
and not Albon.
If you have that much belief in the driver that you are fighting that hard to not let him go to Williams, why are you letting him go in the first place?
Absolutely.
You can just literally just tell him, hey, we're not sure about Yuki at the moment. Go over to IndyCar or be a reserve driver. And if Yuki performs badly, the seat's yours. Or, hey, we're going to stick with who we have. We don't see you breaking into the scene. So just fully release him to go to whoever he wants. Don't fight tooth and nail to try and keep him or make it super difficult on Mercedes if you have that much belief.
Absolutely.
I don't. It's literally like us going, like us at Mercedes having Pat O'Ward as our reserve driver, and then for like Aston Martin comes calling and like we want him for our top seat, and we're like, no. We're gonna make this as difficult as possible for you, but we don't see him ever being our actual driver. We just don't want him to be yours.
Yeah.
You got to pick one.
By the way, the reason we keep talking is because they're just doing this PR crap.
Which I don't mind because I love it and I love seeing our IndyCar is I love the look of our IndyCar.
Good. I couldn't give a fuck.
I know you can, but I love the look of it, so I don't mind it.
I know. I'd just rather get to the F1 bit. I fuck the NASCAR.
Oh, I completely agree. I completely understand.
I get.
Here's my problem with Sainz.
I get to NASCAR. There's some race circuits there, but I'm just like, I'm not interested.
Yeah. Here's my thing with Sainz is he was so underrated that now that he's getting all this hype, I'm starting to believe he's starting to get a little bit overrated.
Who's this? Sorry.
For Carlos Sainz.
Oh, Carlos Sainz. Sainz did a very good job. Everyone said he was going to be way behind.
No, I knew he'd be good. He's coming from McLaren. I knew the talent he had. I knew he'd be a good driver. It was easy. Are we finally done? Are we finally going to actually get to the livery now?
Are we actually doing? Oh my god, we're now doing an esports fucking driver. PR.
Oh my gosh! Yep.
We got the YouTube commentate.
I get that we're trying to like big up the whole entire McLaren.
We got the YouTube, but we got the YouTuber Tima Tijuk that we're walking.
Two of them are Duke, yeah.
Give me a go, I'll fucking do ya. I'll have ya. Easy, peasy, never fucking squeezy.
I get that it's infuriating because it's like I get we're trying to just show off the entire McLaren brand here, but this is a Formula One car launch. This is not a let's just show everything about McLaren and then we're also going to show the car.
What the fuck?
Bro, why does he look like he has marshmallows stuffed in his mouth? The guy on the left.
I ain't got a clue. So
the guy on the left looks like he's got a couple marshmallows in his cheeks.
Hang on, are they actually driving? Oh, they're driving the new F22 car, basically. Is that what they're saying?
I don't know.
Where's the model for this? Where's the PS4 livery for this? I want it. Like, fuck this. Like, we're being screwed. I'm telling you, we're being screwed. Like, mate, I'm telling you, like, I should start going online, mate. I got fed up with going online because every time I try and do it properly, some fucker crosses into you.
Oh yeah, you have someone who just
drive straight into you.
Just drive straight into you. And last time I lost my temper over the radio on it. If you can't fucking do it properly, I'll fuck off then.
No,
Right?
yeah, no, I pretty much just stick to
Excuse
career
my
mode.
language, but like I literally was like that.
Stuff.
If you lot can't race properly, fuck you. Right? And they went, what? I'm like, you heard.
Right? Yeah, no, but at this point, you got to just. I get that we want to show off everything about McLaren and how big McLaren. Yeah, and I love that we're expanding, but it's a car show. It's the car. It's the limit.
Do you know what? Actually, do you know what's the problem is? Do you know what's the problem is? What you're showing is great, and those liveries mean looks like a new livery, new colours. But by the way, what you're actually showing is probably what's been hampering you the last 10 fucking years. You haven't had a title challenge for the last 10 years. Why? Road car, IndyCar.
We've been focusing on everything else.
You focus on everything else rather than the main thing that makes you successful.
I also think the fact that we have Renault and Toyota as our engine providers hampered us as well, because you've seen the difference between Renault and Toyota versus us being in a Mercedes engine.
Yeah. Yeah. How was your days at Honda, mate?
Oh, fucking dreadful. Yeah, see, this is what I hate, though. When you're going to call it a car launch, you cannot talk about everything and then just show the car. Oh, here they come.
I think Verstappen might be good.
We actually finally get to see the actual F1 drivers.
Won't be as good as this. You're basically meaning he won't be allowed to get away with half his shit this year.
I don't think Hamilton will either.
Do you know what? I don't think Hamilton's going to take any shit. I think if you're going to take me out, fuck it.
Ooh, okay. I like these new suits. I
can see a new livery.
Yeah, you can see the Gulf blue on the sides of the pant. That's ooh.
I laugh you did reveal just the Gulf livery from Monaco. Is that?
Just give me the Gulf livery for the entire season. That's all I want. They've got the Gulf blue on the side of the pants. I want the Gulf livery. Come on.
Yeah, I don't think they've got Gulf on the side of their fucking sponsors, mate. So you might be out of luck.
I love that on the front of I love on the front of it. It says Splunk. You look on the right chest. It says Splunk as one of our sponsors.
Trust me,
I am super happy.
Do you know what? You know when you get on like you look on YouTube and you find these people doing the F1 2022 version of the car on iRacing or something. I'm like,
yeah,
where do I get that? Why can't I do that?
Yeah, I'm so excited. By the way, Lando Norris extending his contract even farther.
This is what I'm thinking. This is what I'm thinking is like when they bring out the new game, how fucking different is this going to be to drive? Like having basically a Dyson pulling on your car.
And it's going to be interesting because it's going to be harder to overtake, I think, because the cars are a little bit lighter.
People don't understand. Sorry, bear in mind, right? But excuse it. Right, I'm going to turn it upside down, and you will see what ground effect does. That is basically ground effect in all its form.
Yep. I'm so excited about Norris signing his 1 year.
When they say a 3D floor, that is what it does. 3D floor means the air goes through the floor, and then that floor sucks the air, that controls the air and sucks it down to the ground.
What do you think of Norris extending his contract again?
Yeah.
Because he signed a 3-year deal at the beginning of the year, and now at the end of the year, he signed another year on.
Well, mate, he's McLaren's. It's like Leclerc,
he's
Ferrari, George Russell at Mercedes. Like, it's the golden way.
Yeah, but it's interesting that they gave him a 3-year contract at the beginning of the year, beginning of the season.
Do you know what's really hard? Do you know what I feel sorry for Albon with? Because he was thrown into it so quickly. Because remember, in 2019, they were stuck in like the McLaren, and he was at the Red Bull at the front of the grid, and Russ, he was taking the piss out of Russell because he was at the back of the grid and everything. And now
I love the driver, the rookie of the year presentations and why they should be rookie of the year.
No, but now Albon is sitting in Russell's seat,
and now Russell's up in Mercedes.
And he's like, "Hang on, I'm not part of the deal."
Albon was talking like he was the rookie of the year, and it's like, well, now you're in Williams. Yeah, so basically Norris signed a 3-year contract at the beginning of the season, and then they just announced 2 days ago that he's now announced a year extension to where he'll be here till 2025.
Yeah. Charles he is your golden boy. You are Ferrari, aren't you? So here we are. Do smash the like button and subscribe button if you haven't already.
Will he be the golden boy, though, for Ferrari when Mick Schumacher comes in?
No, he won't. No way. Not with that name. No way. Leclerc, no way. It's going to be... I'd love to see the battle for that because Charles Leclerc is not going to be like, mate, I don't care if you're fucking Jesus. You ain't coming in here and taking my crown. And Schumacher said, mate, I've got the name. Fuck off.
Schumacher is Ferrari.
When you win 5 titles with the Scuderia, like...
You are God.
Yeah, you are God to them. They are God. Like, especially when they spent, 21 years without a title?
Yeah. Okay, I'm getting annoyed now. I'm seeing the blue on the freaking... I just want to see the livery now. Now that I've seen the different colors.
Stop fucking talking!
I think mix in either 2023 or 2024. Because Sainz only signed a 2-year contract, so he could literally leave at the end of this year.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see where he goes. Be interesting.
I will say this now. If he wants to come back to McLaren and we can reignite the bromance between Carlos Sainz and Lando Norris, I won't be mad. I will not be mad. Show me the car. I wouldn't be as excited as I am right now to see this car if it wasn't for the fact that the suit looks different.
Yeah.
If the color, if there wasn't the blue,
it looks more like their IndyCar one.
Yeah, but if you didn't have the Gulf blue strip, I wouldn't be as excited. If it looked like last year's suit, then I'd be like, okay. But you usually do your suit like you do your livery, right? You want the suit.
This is the thing. Everyone's putting this pressure on me. Look. I know he's got the name. Let him
develop.
Let him develop. He's got a long way to go.
He's so young.
Right? Everyone thought about that, like how great.
You can see Lando Norris. Lando Norris had so much hype coming in.
Do you know what? I remember when Nico Rosberg turned up in 2006. There was a lot of hype around him when he turned up. It took him years to get in the right team.
I mean, just look at Norris. Norris came in 2019 and he was okay, but it took him
years to get him in the right team, and then took him 2 seasons to. Well, no, took him. No. Yeah, it took him 2 seasons to literally side end Lewis to be able to win a championship.
Yeah, no, but I think it's gonna it takes you a couple of years to actually get set in, and so we'll see it happen. I think 2025 is when Schumacher really starts coming into his own.
Oh, finally, here we go. Let's do it.
Come on.
Let's go. Yeah, they're getting on with it now.
Come on. Come on.
Oh, that looks nice.
I'm behind you.
Oh, that looks seriously. You're going to like the look of this.
I'm on the YouTube stream. I'm on the McLaren YouTube stream, so I'm behind.
Mate, you're going to like the look of this.
I'm excited. Oh,
I don't care about the IndyCar. I know what an IndyCar looks like. I want to look at the F1. And it's their actual car as well. The nose looks lower than the Aston Martin. The nose looks lower than the Aston. You seen it yet?
Oh. Oh, aren't you just gorgeous?
Sometimes it's always difficult to get. I've always found this on the actual game when you're designing your livery to get 3 colors working at one. But they've done that quite well, actually.
Aren't you gorgeous? God, that's a beautiful car.
The rear wing looks a little bit more complicated and looks a little bit probably lower, I'd say. The nose looks lower. The nose,
you know what makes me you know what makes me interested to see is I don't know if this is a push or pull suspension.
Is it nice,
that's a big
guys?
question.
Orange, blue, what color is it? If I don't mind saying, it is the orange with a little like tinge of blue and I won't say complete black, but a grey black, like kind of like what they have with their NASCAR. Right.
God, that's a good looking car.
Let me have a look at the front of the car. Yeah, the nose looks probably a little bit lower than the Aston. It does look at a little bit lower.
It looks very. It looks so good.
I'm just trying to pick little details.
I don't care about the other ones. I just love the look of this car.
This is the thing. There's been no carryover from last year, so it's completely new concept, isn't it? It definitely.
I think we stuck with the same. I think we stuck with the same suspension we did last year, which I'm happy with.
No, you've had there's apparently been a suspension tweak.
I think that's the thing is I've heard that we've gone to a pull suspension, but I'm not sure.
McLaren's F1 2022 suspension. Let's have a look. You've leaked that. Yeah. How's 2022 suspension overhaul could shuffle the competitive order?
Has there been any carryover from the 2021? Not really.
No, hang on.
It's the papaya. It's the papaya orange, and then the blue is really nice.
Yeah, I think they're going to more like there's a difference. It's between push rod or pull rod. Yeah, it's a very technical.
It looks like a very complicated suspension.
You'd have to be a technical genius to work that one out. But it is a change that could possibly ended up pushing further up the.
So what do you think?
Love the colors.
What do you think? As you've heard what I think as a non-McLaren fan, what's your thoughts on the car?
It looks really nice, to be honest. I do like the look of it. At the minute, it's just I love how Andrea Stella, who is a Ferrari guy, is now working at fucking McLaren. I know. I would actually think. Is it better than the AMR22's livery?
Yeah. I think because we switched it up and it's not just the exact same thing. I think
they switched it up a little bit. I mean, like they had like the pink and stuff. It was always going to be racing green.
Unless they turned it pink. They should have done it. They should have done green with little tinges of pink, just little like gotta find it spots of pink.
Yeah,
that would have been funny.
It did. Yeah, so it's. I don't know. I'd have to think about it. But
I think it looks better though. Nice. I think it looks. I think there's something that's clean about having an only one color car, but for a car that's basically 3 colors, it's very clean. Everything goes together. There's no choppiness to it.
That's the 36. Right, before you have it, literally 6 minutes ago. Well, it ain't gonna be an hour ago, is it?
Seeing the car now, it pisses me off even more that you can't even see testing, the first testing, and they're not televising the second testing.
Oh yeah. I'll get that. Trust me. Right, hang on a minute. I want to see that. Then I want to see the AMR 22. Yeah, their nose looks higher than McLaren's.
Yeah, no, our nose is going to be a bit lower, and I actually think that's better because it means we're going to get better ground effect. We're going to get better downforce.
So
I think it's going to end up being it's going to be a faster car.
So for people that don't know, just before we go, because I've got another stream at 8:30.
Yeah, I know. I got to switch over. I'm going on the United agenda at 8:30.
Yeah, there you go. Look, there is McLaren's development of the MCL36. Right.
I just feel that looks super clean. That looks like a very quick car.
Yeah, if it looks as good as if it drives as good as it looks, it might be a very competitive car. And for
me, it's happy. I think it's the good thing that, like you said, with McLaren, there's not as much pressure because even Zach Brown said that we're not going to be competing for another couple of years. He doesn't see us going for that World Drivers Championship or the Constructors title until 2024.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's pretty much said that until 2024, he thinks we're just going to be going for third because, especially now with the regulations, he wants to give us a couple of years to really get this car as good as possible before going for it. We need the reliability to stick, and we need our luck to not be shit.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see, though, see what it does. But there you go. There it is in the all its splendor. But anyway, we're going to leave it there. Thanks, guys, for everyone that's tuning in. Sorry that took a while, but as usual, these things sometimes take their time knowing these teams. But there you go. Connor, where can I find you, man?
Yeah, so you can actually find me in 45 minutes on Main United Agenda. I feature on there quite a bit. You'll find me here. I'm basically the co-host, I'm guessing, with Steven. I try and be on here as much as possible. Find me on Rich Sports as much as I can. I try as much as I can to get on his channel, and he's the guy who got me my start. So Rich, I give so much love and support to. He's such a great guy. But yeah, and then the Blue Podcast, we're trying to get our start back up, get up and running with videos, so you can check me out there as well.
Wicked.
Twitter on my name below.
Yes. Make sure you go and just follow him on that. Great guy, great opinions. Right. Sometimes very truthful as well, opinion as well.
I feel like you can't.
By the way, you remember you saying about Saudi Arabia,
yeah,
and Bottas, right? If you actually remember, 2017, Hamilton did that in 2017 before coming into a pit, and outside of the pit lane is allowed, but inside the pit lane is disallowed.
I know my shit, and I'm truthful. I will call out my own teams, and I will be truthful.
Oh yeah. That's the best way to be.
But my name is what I am. I love to talk shit as much as possible.
Yeah, just stir the pot. So there we are. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe. He was definitely stirring the pot last night. I was losing my rag. Yeah, make sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons. We'll see you guys later. Take care.